or the parent. Our state legislatures are the parents of that federal government. What do you do when one of your kids steps out of line? Mr. McComas, what did you do when one of your kids stepped out of line? I'm going to say you probably didn't just do a timeout. You probably bent over and gave him a good whaling if he needed it. I'm just probably that's what you did. Okay? How do you do that with the federal government? You say the magic word. No! That's called nullification on the state level. You nullify unconstitutional actions from your federal government. Our state government could spend the next 20 years doing that. One thing at a time. All right? You say that doesn't work? We had a bill to abolish abortion in the state of Oklahoma and criminalize it and just apply the homicide codes to abortion. And it didn't pass. And they continue to mess around with it. Well, let me ask you this. How did Colorado legalize pot? They just told the federal government, no, it's still a federal crime in Colorado to smoke dope. Guess what? You know what they said? We're not going to enforce it. No, we're not doing it. You have a governor that turned around and allowed the healthcare industry to demand that everybody that worked for them either took that shot, that COVID shot, that now the CDC is telling you isn't necessary, we don't have to worry about it, this and that. You don't think your enemies are organized, folks? You don't think they own you? They do. You gotta wake up and understand that and commit yourself to doing something about it. And that isn't just standing up here and yelling about the Second Amendment. I've got guns in my house. That's fine. The bottom line of it is we've got to get involved and know what's going on, know who is in bed with who in your government. Who's shacking up with who? You know, on Facebook, when you turn around and you look at some lady and you know, under relationship status, it says it's complicated. No, it isn't. You all know what that means. Okay? Who are these people committed to? And that's where you have to apply the pressure. And it works. It works. And I'm telling you, that even after you get a good guy elected, you've got to know what he's doing. You have to know what he's doing. You know, I can't, as an organization, we can't endorse candidates. But I'm going to vote for that guy. It's my district. I'm going to vote for Senator McComas. But I'm also going to be paying attention to what you're doing once you're down there. Okay? Anyway, come sign up, get 3 free magazines. I won't harass you too much. We'll have fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, come see him. Get some of their stuff. Hey, everybody remembers the J6 situation. And we still got people in jail for that. Well, I got somebody would like to share something about that.
I wasn't prepared for this or expecting it, and I can't let this opportunity pass up. First of all, I want to underscore the comments about the live streamers. X-ray vision. Jesse, J_N. Please come, repeat yourself.
Jen is in the house too, I see. There's our freedom blocker.
Well, anyway, like I said, I can't pass up the opportunity because of the live streamers, every night at 8 o'clock Central Time, I have been able to sing the national anthem with the people in the jail at J6. Ashley Babbitt's mother, Nikki, has been having nightly vigils every night outside the jail, and it's been live streamed on YouTube, and the prisoners have been able to call in. I've listened to their stories over the phone, the horrible treatment that they've been undergoing, the unconstitutional treatment that they have been experiencing. Some of these people that have been there for over 550 days have not seen their family, have not been able to see their children. Nikki Babbitt is holding nightly vigils. You can go on to YouTube. There's 3 streamers off the top of my head that are live streaming every night. One is Glory B, that's Glory B, like the B. Another one is Freedom Express Media. And the last one is 1791 Stormtrooper. And they start, the vigil goes for the whole rest of the month of August from 7 to 9 Eastern time, so that's 6 to 8 Central time. And at 8 o'clock every night, they all sing the national anthem together. And one of the things that has struck me while they're doing that, I don't think the night has gone by where there hasn't been tears on my face. But when they get to the part where the flag is still there, everybody yells, "Still there!" Because we are still there.
Yes. Yep.
And we have to remain here. And we have to stand. So I encourage you tonight, you could be singing the national anthem with the J6 prisoners at 8 o'clock on Glory B, Freedom Express Media, and 1791 Stormtrooper. I love all you guys in the chat. I'm Lori K. You know me from that. It's been wonderful to meet some of these patriots in person. I can't thank you enough for being here. I know it's hot. I know Saturdays are busy. I know some of you came from quite a long way. And I'm very grateful. God bless America. Freedom!
Freedom! Thank you so much. But that's not a way to reach out to this J6 that, was there. I don't know what else. Anyway, next up, I'm going to ask this Mr. Ryan Walters for state superintendent. This is kind of a surprise. Just walking forward, I'm like, I recognize him, but I don't know who it is. He come out and he tell me who it was. So anyway, welcome.
Thank you all so much for having me. I brought a couple of guests. I hope you guys don't mind my 2 daughters here. And I thought Dr. Sherwood did a great job of starting us off this way about our young people having knowledge, right? Hey, girls, come here. How about we start off? What's the, why don't y'all give the preamble for us here? Talk in there, girls. Go.
We the people in order when we perfect. We the people in order when we are perfect. Establish justice and equality, ability, provide for the common defense, the general act of working, and trade the blessings of the liberty to ourselves and our posterity to our day. And establish presents the Constitution for the United States of America.
That was amazing.
Well, we actually have the amendments down too, but she made me promise not to go through all these amendments. But there's a few that I'm going to talk about, so I want to go ahead and hey, what's the 4th amendment?
No search and
Yeah, no improper search and seizure, okay? That one's important, right? Because of what we just saw happen to our president and his home, right? Improper search and seizure. We have seen a weaponization of the FBI. So yeah, it's very important that our young people understand that you're supposed to be protected in your home. What about that, what about the 10th amendment? You know that one?
reserve.
Okay, reserve powers. All right, well that one I'm gonna focus on. Okay, you girls looking good. You guys. Okay. All right, sweetheart. Y'all can go back over. You don't have to see me. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so I bring them up and I talk about those 2 things. I'm running for state school superintendent for the entire state of Oklahoma, and folks, we've had a liberal Democrat, Joy Hoffmeister, running that department. And what have we seen? We've seen failure, and we have seen this anti-American rhetoric enter our schools. It's unbelievable that in the state of Oklahoma, you have critical race theory, telling kids that if they're white, they are racist because of the color of their skin. We have kids being taught that America is an evil, racist, bigoted country. This should not be allowed to stand. Our young people need to know that America is the greatest country in the history of the world. That is not questioned. It is a fact. And we are the greatest country in the history of the world because we've done more for the individual than any other country. And our founders knew that if we were a Christian people, we believed in those Christian values, we could maximize individual liberty. And we told all of our young people, we should tell all of our young people, those powers come from God, not from government. And folks, if our young people don't know that, they can take it away tomorrow. You listen to how our young people do not know the basic understanding of the Constitution. They don't understand that your freedoms are not up for debate in the legislature. Your freedoms are given to you by God. Jefferson made that very clear. If you know the Declaration, if you know the Constitution, this country has the most inspiring story of any other country. We can be the leader of the free world if we pass that on to our kids. Let me tell you something else. Not only will we be the leader of the free world, our kids are inspired by that story. Our kids are inspired by the story of the founders. They're inspired by the story of during World War II. I'm a history teacher, by the way, that's my other hat. I'm a history teacher. I love to talk with young people and show them the letters from the veterans of World War II. Those brave men and women that went over there to fight, you read their letters, they knew what they were fighting for. They knew that Hitler posed a threat to the free world, and that America was the shining city on a hill that could absolutely do more for freedom than anyone, and they wanted to fight for those principles. President Trump said this great a few weeks ago. If we teach our young people to hate our country, they're never going to fight for this country again. They are never going to ensure, by the way, foreign and domestic threats do not take over our country. And they think things like the Second Amendment is something that can just be jerked away at any whims of a politician. The reality is, we're in the greatest country that the world has ever seen. We're in the greatest state in the United States here in Oklahoma. But we got to do better for our young people. When I talk to parents and grandparents around the state, they say, I'm afraid that my kids, my grandkids aren't getting the same education I got. Well, guys, if we put a conservative into this office, we can start holding the teachers' unions accountable. We can ensure that your kids know the story of American folks. I'm going to tell you, there's $2 million we're talking about. Dr. Sherber was talking about the dark money that's coming in. I've got $2 million from the National Teachers Union coming against me. And I just tell everybody that. I go, hey, I just want to let you know I am public enemy #1 of the National Teachers Union. And I say, hey, the National Teachers Union, the one that 2 weeks ago said they're not women, they're birthing persons now. Okay, that one is the one spending $2 million against me. They don't represent Oklahoma values. They absolutely don't. Oklahoma should determine for us what our education system looks like. Let me tell you what that means. That 10th Amendment. All powers are not given to the federal government, are reserved to the people and to the states and the people respectfully. What that means is, feds, get your hands off of our schools. Get out of our state. That's it, period. Common Core, critical race theory, transgender madness. No, you're not going to put them in our schools because here's the deal. This is a state issue. So what I'm going to do as superintendent, I'm going to get us away from federal money. We're never going to have the Biden administration trying to dictate to our kids what they're learning, dictate to parents what's going on in their schools, and we'll determine for ourselves what our education system looks like. And that means putting parents in charge of their kids' education. I want school choice. I want you to pick where your kid goes to school. I want you to be able to see what's going on in your school, full transparency. And I'm going to hold these woke administrators accountable. These woke administrators that are pushing pornography in our schools, critical race theory in our schools, let me tell you something. Not only should their teaching certificates and administrative certificates be up in smoke, they should be turned over to law enforcement. Let me tell you, if you did that to a kid, if you went to the park and gave them the material that we've seen some of these schools putting in their libraries, you'd be arrested. That's right. You'd be arrested. And so, they lose their mind every time I say that. That's fine. Because the reality is, they're scared to death of actually having someone in a position that's going to hold them accountable. Joy Hoffmeister was put there by the teachers' unions and by the left-wing administrators. And they're all against me. And I tell them, guys, here's the deal. Oklahomans believe in parents. Oklahomans believe in their kids. They want parents and grandparents involved in their kids' education. Only left-wing bureaucrats will try to tell you that you know best for your kids. I'm proud to be endorsed by the OK2A. I appreciate Don Spencer and his leadership. Now, I stood up and said early on, hey, we had a tragic school shooting happen. Guess what the first response was? Take away everyone's guns. I stood up and go, guys, let me just be really clear about this. When you have an area, and you declare an area to be a gun-free zone, evil will seek that out every day of the week and twice on Sunday. It's not rocket science. The reality is the founders believed you had the right to self-defense, and that was given to you by God. Yes. And I have stood up and said, in our schools, if you're a teacher and you want to do the training, if you're an administrator, you do the training, you should be carrying on that campus. And we should have a big old sign out in front of your school that says, if you come here to do harm by these young people, you will be met with someone with a gun. There's nothing more important than the safety of our young people. And they should not be sitting ducks in a gun-free zone in a school area. And this is the thing. We can do this, folks. I truly believe we get the indoctrination out of schools. We bring mom, dad, grandma, and grandpa back into the education system. Oh, let me give you one other thing, too. I'm sorry, I'm going on a little bit, but I'm a little fired up. All these great speakers in front of me, I'm kind of fired up.
Let's get it.
Thank you. We've been pushing a one-size-fits-all model from these bureaucrats on our kids. It just isn't right. I want to tell you a story. I'm a teacher. I had a young man come up to me right before graduation, and he apologized to me because he wasn't going to go to college. I'll tell you what this young man went on to do. He went on to get a welding certificate. A company hired him right out of high school. He's now making great money. He's traveling around the country. He's actually traveling around the world now. He's moved up so much in his welding industry. He's welding on underwater oil rigs. Well, let me tell you that. Let me ask you this. Why did he apologize to me? Because an education bureaucrat, that's exactly right, told them, hey, if you don't go to college, son, you're a failure. Right. That's ridiculous. Most Oklahomans don't go to college. Let me tell you something. Some of our best jobs, best paying jobs, jobs with great benefits, jobs that mean a lot for Oklahomans. Yeah. Don't need a college degree. Let me tell you something. When you stick kids in school and you tell them this is the only path for you, and if you don't go to college and get a 4-year liberal arts degree, you're a failure, those kids don't want to go to school. Those kids don't live up to their God-given potential. What I believe is every kid's unique, God created in that way. And we should ensure and tell them, you want to go be a welder. If you want to go be a truck driver, okay, that is essential for our state. And by the way, you can do a great job and find incredible fulfillment in life, because if that's what you want to do and you can provide for your family that way, good on you. Let's explore what that future can be. But again, the left wants to send every kid to college, because guess what happens in college, by the way? It's not a coincidence that they want to force every kid to college, and the colleges are full of left-wing nonsense, folks. They want to turn kids into social justice warriors, so that's why they want to send them to college. So my belief is that nobody knows best for their kids than their mom, your dad. Mom, dads, grandma, and grandpa is more involved. That means education bureaucrats. You open up with full transparency and accountability what you're doing. I believe we need to be accountable for taxpayer dollars. That's why I called for this audit of the State Department of Education. Never been audited before, folks. Can you believe that? Half of our state revenue flows through that department. It's never been audited before. So are you okay? Just you go here. Just stand with me for a second. I know, man. So we have to hold taxpayer dollars accountable. You know, Joy Hoffmonster said I was attacking public education when I launched the audit. Audits are not attacks, okay? An audit over your taxpayer dollars is to ensure that it's getting to the classroom, to the teachers in there, it's holding them accountable. Guess what? Education bureaucrats do not like to be held accountable, folks.
They don't like transparency.
They do not like transparency, because when they don't have transparency, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, you don't know what's going on. But when we bring transparency, you're going to be more involved. When we bring accountability, you're not going to have these woke administrators telling your kids, talking to them about sexuality or being transgender, all the nonsense they want to put in there. And I'm going to empower our parents to be more involved. I'm going to tell you one last thing. Our kids are going to know our history. Our kids are going to know this is the greatest country in the history of the world. They're going to be inspired by that story. And they've got to be the generation that continues the path for America to be that shining city on the hill, to continue the path that President Trump sent us on. President Trump called out the leftists in education. He shook things up, and it drove him crazy. That's why Biden's been launching these attacks into his home. I will continue to fight for what President Trump is doing for our schools. I will continue to fight for you, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. Thank you for your time. The election is Tuesday, folks. I'm in a runoff. I've got $2 million of money coming against me from the National Teachers Union. So, I just tell people that. So, if you'll help spread that word, if you see those bad commercials, that's where they came from. But please, if you'll tell family and friends, my name is Brian Walters, running for state superintendent. I want to bring conservative values back into our schools. Thank you guys so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, you got some votes for that chat. There's people watching you and now start promoting for him.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what.
Teach him cursing.
Hey, he mentioned a couple of things. I just want to face on. He talked about the lowest. If you teach kids to hate America, they're not going to enlist. I seen something on the fake news last night. I actually believe it. But we're having the lowest enlistment rates right now in history. In history, yeah, exactly. How many have they gotten rid of because they wouldn't take the shot?
A lot of them.
Yeah,
I told her if I'm not happy here,
Thousands.
set it down.
thousands, exactly.
Not to mention they cashiered our generals too, admirals.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Good
All
people.
of ours has been there. Our leaders that's been there, our good leaders that have been there with conservative values and that. But man, it's difficult. Anyway, does anybody else want to stand up and say anything? I believe we've pretty much concluded with our statement. Yes, hey, please encourage getting out to vote. And yeah, I got X-ray in my ear.
X-ray, come on.
You give me a minute. I'll put somebody else on who doesn't make. How about that?
Okay,
2 minutes.
okay.
What do you think?
All right, I'm on board.
What do you think? That truck do the whole deal?
Hey, what's up, everybody? John, people call me X-Ray and X-Ray Vision Online. Any of the speakers, feel free to just take clips from the videos or the chat. People love you guys. If anybody wants to reuse it, do it. That's J_N. Jesse Nagy's been an awesome patriot. But the guy I want to bring up for you, yeah, I've been on the National Mall in D.C. We've had patriots occupying the National Mall for 30 days in Washington, D.C. We came in the early hours of the morning. We occupied that mall, and peacefully and non-violently, we held that ground for more than a month. Right? People don't know about this. Right now, my mission is to go around the country and to try to connect these different groups of patriots. Oklahoma, Missouri, Texas, Colorado, New York. We were just with General Flynn and Eric Trump in New York last week. This week, we're here in Oklahoma. And I'm only able to go around the country and do these things because of Tony Quillen right here at TQ Trucking. So the next guy I'm going to bring up, he's a farmer. He farms corn and beans in Indiana, thousands of acres, all right? And he's also a trucker, and he owns 18 trucks. He owns a trucking business. So he's a small business owner. He's a farmer on thousands of acres, and I'd just like, if it's okay with you, if maybe Tony speaks to us for about 2 minutes about some frustrations that farmers are having, and we're seeing it in the Netherlands right now. We're seeing it with the Dutch farmers right as well right now. So farming, and then on the trucking side. And without farming and trucking, you can look around, we don't have a single anything. There's not one thing that can come out of the ground and get delivered by a truck, except for humans, animals, right? So if y'all please help me welcome Tony Quillen, TQ Trucking. I just want to give him a huge shout out. But this is the American. This is who we want to hear from, along with all these fine Americans here. But this is the guy who's doing the farming, he's doing the trucking, he's supporting 30 families with his good work. Thank you very much.
I don't know why I gotta do this to you every time. Sit back there just enjoying the show. Then X-Ray's gotta get on here and bring me in front of people that I'm not used to doing this. Yeah, it throws me under the bus. It's like the third time it's thrown me under the bus. Thank you, X-Ray.
Yes, sir. You tell them. You got a good message, TQ. I respect it a lot.
Tell it, Tony.
I don't know. I'm a little frustrated. I guess I started farming when I was 8 years old with my dad. And I don't have an education as far as college education. I graduated high school, decided then I was just going to, I guess, do a couple things in life. I wanted to own a farm, own some dirt, And we were very small farmers at that time, maybe a couple hundred acres. Okay, that's where my dad was, mold maker. So right now we farm 4,000 acres. I took it to the next level. Now I'm in a predicament that we got really high input costs this year. I mean, you're talking like 28% nitrogen triple. You got to have that for your corn. I'm just kind of wanting farmers to start speaking out and understanding. We don't start speaking out and get this under control. They're going to price us right out of our own country, and we're not going to be able to farm. We're going to depend on them to be a farmer, and that's not where we need to be. That's not where I want to be. So as far as the trucking, I do own 18 trucks. It's been we get taxed every time we turn around on our trucks, and then we also, the fuel cost this year has went from like $3.25. I think at one time it was darn near $6.50 at one time. My fuel bill went from around about $16,000 a week to $42,000 a week in the last 6 months. And my rates have not went up, so we're trying to get by. We're just barely surviving. But what they're trying to do is put a guy like me completely out of business. I'm just a working guy. I've sweated on the farm all my life. And I'm just letting people know, if you really want to do something, I had nothing when I started out. And I'm 61 years old, and I'm here where I want to be, but right now the government's knocking on the door. They're really making it tough on us on the farming end of it. So when you look at them big green tractors out in the field, and you see that guy combine, it's not all what you think. You know, it's not all what you think. It's a lot of expense right now. Our expenses are totally out of control. I really don't have nothing else to say other than I'm an Indiana farmer. I enjoy what I'm doing, and I'm going to keep busting my ass doing it until they tell me I can't, but they got their hands full when they come to my house.
Can I ask you a question? Carbon capture?
I hear you.
Have you heard of carbon capture? Can you tell them about that?
All right, everybody, thank you. Thank you so much for coming out. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, all right. I got somebody else would like to say something.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Fair. I'm a school teacher. And if you guys know about it, maybe you drive by, you've seen it. It's trying to promote patriotism. We want to keep patriotism alive. We need to keep it alive. We need to pass it on to our children, our grandchildren. All of us here most of us are older. We have experience. We have lived America. Our children have not lived what America is. Our grandchildren are not living in the America that we grew up in. We need to get that back for them. And I just want to encourage everybody. You may not feel like you are contributing in a big way. And if you just go out, if you're in your neighborhood, if you don't mind the gas station, if you're at the post office, wherever you're at, if you will broach these subjects that are taboo, that are conspiracy theories, if you will talk things and address things, you will plant a seed in people's minds. They may not agree with you, it may go anywhere near together at the moment, but this will be in their minds. And when they see things and they hear things on the news out of society, when they learn things that come out breaking news that we all know already, this will be their curiosity, but it's going to be going on in their minds based on somebody said. So I just want to encourage you guys to do that. Talk about it. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. Don't care what people think about you, what people are going to say about you, how it's going to affect the way your status in society, because that's not what is important. What is important is that we get the fact that we have losses. We have lost so many of our freedoms. We as a society have a mission to live unshare. We don't know what freedom is really, and some people, I just call it that we are making that society that we don't believe they are not living free. All the government regulations, all of the taxes, all of the pricing that we are suffering under, this burden that we are suffering under, what is happening with the IRS, what is happening right here in our local governments. This is not good. And the only way to get true freedom back is to unite as a people. And the way to bring back unity is to bring back community. We need to form community so that we can have a common goal. We can spread information. People can understand what things are when you tell them. You know, because you can tell them, oh, the shot is bad. And there is so much medical information we have to break down and get out to them. But if everybody in town is talking about it, then somewhere, at some point, people are going to get all the different bits of information and they'll be informed. This is the way we need to spread patriotism and spread truth. We need to be bold in our stance. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm over here on the other side. Let's look behind you. All right. Is there anybody else who would like to say anything?
I want to say great job, Steve, Oklahoma Patriots.
It's not just me, guys. It's not just me. Please understand, there are people behind the scenes. There's many people behind the scenes. And I can't thank them enough for helping me put this together. I guess I'm just the MC of the situation. I hope I do a good job. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, thank you for all for coming out. I'm going to play some music. Feel free to stick around, talk to each other, whatever. Hey, I want to thank Jesse, Carol, Maggie, coming in from Arkansas. Missouri.
That's offending.
I think X-ray coming out for Colorado. Who we got? Tony.
They haven't brought our drinks yet.
Tony. Yeah. Tony and listen. I'll get it straight. Let's go fix the face so I'll remember your name, all right? All right. Is there anybody else here?
Fan on. Fans on. We're good to go.
No. Anyway, thank you guys for coming out. Thank you, live streamers. Thank you for those who are behind the live stream, like me, the followers. YouTube. So, and are you live streaming too?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just here.
It'll be good.
I watch X-Ray.
All right. I love X-ray. Gotta love our X-ray.
X-Ray's the bomb.
All right. Thank you guys.
Good one.
Thank you.
Sit.
I'm just gonna come back over there and get them. You don't have to walk all the way over here.
Oh, that's okay.
Can you sit? Sit.
No.
I don't think you have to.
Okay. I was gonna offer her. Okay.
No, you can offer it. I don't think you need it.
You like the French fry?
No.
She's very particular. She gets chicken. So she said.
Yeah. Hey Bruce, that's right. You got to hit up those farmers markets. Farmers markets in your hometown. That's where the good food is.
So, have you had
I'll be right back.
Making my way through the land of the lost. He sees it as it is. Worries about his kids as I try to do all the things he did. Only one can take no more straight. If you don't like it, there's a freaking door. The same as freedom is fighting for. Give us something more. Give us something more. Willing to fight so burning on the ground, another statue coming down, and it tell me, watching the threads of the glory of the end.
That's so cool. Get to sit in a racing bed over there. Or vibrate. That lady's friend or boyfriend or husband or something come by, and he was like, "That's the first man I've ever seen sit in that chair. I've been the first man that's ever sat in that chair." It's pretty cool. It was a little difficult because it's all custom built for her, and she's like this tall. I got part way, everything but one leg. Be sure to stay tuned, everybody. We're gonna have a quick lunch, and then we're gonna have a really cool patriotic parade or convoy around through this little town here. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Oh, they were listening. Yes, Cam, it was.
What?
They were listening to my story about that sitting in the truck driver.
So where do you live in Missouri?
Near Springfield. About an hour east of Springfield. Out in the middle of nowhere.
I'm an Arkansas girl, so
You know what nowhere is.
I know we know. But we live in Florida.
Where in Arkansas did you guys live at?
Have you heard of Batesville?
Yes.
Well, that's actually where I was born. So
Okay.
Batesville. Mountain View and Beaver Springs.
I used to go down there and work on trucks all the time. Their shops right next to chicken places. They haul some chicken and then they haul with everything. They have red trucks. They even walk over them.
lives in St. Peters.
Okay. Yeah, I had a bunch of people asking, especially after he got up and he talked, they're like, where do we find this at? And so
Yep.
told them.
Yep.
And that website is what again?
JBS.org.
JBS.org. Yes. Yep.
Okay. Thank you for coming, doing this. Appreciate it.
And thank you guys for coming.
That looks pretty good.
They actually have really good food here. Their coleslaw is really good.
If you can make good coleslaw, then you can rule the world.
Exactly. Yes. Yep.
Take care.
It's not quite as good as your coleslaw, but it's really good. That's just a song that they're playing over there. I'm not sure where they got it from. Brian Mock. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Somebody asked where we got it from.
They can find it on YouTube or you can use it.
Oh, you can get it on YouTube? It might be on YouTube. Oh, here we go. Here's a good one. No, I didn't. I didn't see that interview.
These days you can't get a man to work. He gon' get laid when they still fur. Don't pledge allegiance to our flag like we used to do.
That's the downside of live streaming, because in doing these events, I'm always so busy between, spreading the word of freedom, getting to these events, trying to support, everybody in these different groups. Sometimes you don't get to, take the little bit of time to check out those interviews and stuff. Just between everything, work, family, life, these events, it gets a little hectic and you don't get to be involved with as much stuff as you'd like. No. It's really good. Yep. Are y'all singing along in the chat? Yeah, voting's very important.
This place called USA.
Oh yeah, I'll get a copyright. So I'll get a copyright mark on this video for the music in the background, which is okay. Which basically means that with my YouTube being monetized, they hold any income that could be from this video. They hold it out because of the copyright infringement stuff. Which it ain't no big deal because I don't really make no money off this thing anyway. I just do this YouTube stuff so that you all can see what's going on. I think last month I made like $68 off of YouTube. So we'll just let them. Okay, we're back. Phone got too hot there and shut down for a second. Hey, Lamont, not even worried about finances. I let God lead me, and if I need finances, the Lord will make them available for me. I truly believe that. And that's the last 2 times I went to New York, and when I come out here, I didn't have any money at all, and so I just let the Lord lead me where I feel that He thinks I should go, and it always works out. All right, everybody, I'm going to let my phone cool down. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to end the live, and then here in a little bit to do our patriotic convoy. I'll come start a new live, all right? I'm going to let my phone charge up, let it cool down a little bit, get it out of the sun.
No, you just did it.
Oh, getting ready to. I haven't eaten it.
I just wanted to come over and find out the name of your channel because I think I follow your channel.
It is